Good morning. It is the first Sunday in November. It's so nice to see you all. I hope you fill back that hour and feel refreshed. You got it? Oops. Okay. Oh, is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Yes. Well, welcome you to the Center for Spiritual Living, Carlsbad, California. And we understand there's a power for good in the universe that we can use greater than ourselves. So I want to invite you to a moment of prayer and what we call spiritual mind treatment. So if you want to relax, just get comfortable, keep your feet on the floor, take a deep breath. I want to read to you some excerpts of a prayer from Ernest Holmes in honor of this time of the year, our elections. So Ernest Holmes said, believing in the divine destiny of the United States, I offer my prayer. I know that divine intelligence governs the destiny of the U.S., directing the thought and the activity of all. I know success, prosperity, and happiness are the gifts of freedom and are the divine heritage of everyone, which is now operating in the affairs of every individual. I know that divine guidance enlightens the collective mind. Economic security may come to all without the loss of either personal freedom or individual self-expression. No one can believe or be led to believe that freedom must be surrendered in order to ensure economic security. The all-knowing mind of God contains the answer to every problem. I know that every leader is now directed to this all-knowing mind and has the knowledge of a complete solution to every problem. For abundance, security, and peace shall come to all. And I know that this spiritual democracy shall endure, guaranteeing personal liberty, happiness, and self-expression. And for this I give great thanks. I know it is so, and together we say, and so it is. So, music selection. Tim Dismang is here for us. Go ahead, Tim.
you. Yes, you're the one in the million world. When you're wrapped and love around me, I can stand and face the world. Because your love is lifting me higher, higher and higher and higher, higher and higher and higher, oh higher, higher.
Reverend Maureen. Hi. All right. Well, now's our time for candle lighting. And would Maddie like to come up? Thank you, Maddie. So, we light candles in order to remind ourselves of the underlying spirit of life and the divine unity of all of us. So first we light a candle for life. Life is everywhere present, flowing through each and every one of us. There's only one life. That life is God's life. That life is our life now. So affirm with me, I am life. We light a candle for love. The birth of love happens within each one of us every time we make room for the Christ consciousness in our hearts and recognize our unity. We are points of love within the heart of God. So please affirm with me, I am love. We light a candle for light. The light of God is the presence and the power. We're always walking in the light. We radiate the light of God wherever we are. So please affirm with me, I am light. We light a candle for beauty. We're made in the likeness and image of God. We are each whole, complete, and beautiful, just as we are. We accept the beauty of God's perfection as our perfection now. So please affirm with me, I am beauty. We light the candle for joy. Joy is the very nature of spirit and the true essence of each of us. We celebrate the joy of our own rebirth in God consciousness. We each bring joy to the world. So please affirm with me, I am joy. And we light a candle for peace. Today and every day, we open our hearts to peace. We are each a center of peace in our world. So please affirm with me, I am peace. Thank you. And finally, I invite you just to take a moment, recognize your own inner light that's always shining within, as we each honor our own metaphysical path of wholeness, oneness, and mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. Thank you, Maddie. So, announcements. I first want to welcome anyone who is here for the first time, visiting for the first time, and please make yourself at home if you're here for the first time. If I haven't met you, you may have been here before, but maybe this is first time. Stay for fellowship. Today is birthday Sunday, so we've got cookies and cakes and a little sugar there for you. Please add your name and your email to our roster if you'd like to receive information from us, and help yourself to a welcome packet. Also, every Sunday, we offer spiritual mind treatment, affirmative prayer, as our gift to you. So if you have a prayer request, you can either speak to a minister or practitioner. Show of hands, the ministers and the practitioners here. We're here for you. Just grab us after the service. Or if you don't want to do that, you can put your name on a piece of paper out there. There are a group of us, practitioners, ministers, who will pray for you on the topic. So feel free to do that. I just wanted to mention our unexpected income. I know the program is over, but does anyone have anything they didn't mention? I just wanted to say, usually I get money, and this year people gave me clothing. I mean, it just came out of, you know how it is, came out of the blue. People gave me all kinds of clothing, so it was kind of great. It was wonderful prosperity. And right now we're doing the Thanksgiving journal, and if you don't have one, pick one up out on the table, and this leads up to Thanksgiving. So it's important to be thankful. And let's see. Oh, yes. Amantra has something to interest us in here. Would you like to come up and mention?
Good morning, church.
Good morning.
I just wanted to announce that this year I'm going to be conducting a fundraiser. I'm going to be giving away 1,000 journals, my journals, the appreciation journals, to women who are in organizations where they're getting help for either being in domestic violence, substance abuse, or incarcerated. And so if you want to get the notice when I create it, I'm going to have my book out on this table, and just give me your email. Now, some of you might have already gotten a text from me saying that the fundraiser is going to be started. I'm going to run it all through November, and then in December, I'll be delivering the books to the agencies. The agencies are going to be local. And one of the places that I'm giving to is the Women's Correctional Facility of the military. I don't know if you know that San Diego has the only facility for women in the military who are incarcerated. And I used to do workshops there, but I'm going to be going down there and giving each one of those women a journal. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, this one needs a new battery.
Does it need a battery?
That's okay.
You got a reader.
Got one. Thank you. The red light is on. Let's see, do we have, we have to sing happy birthday. Is there anyone here having a birthday this month? Larry. And JR. So, Tim, you want to sing a play?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Larry. Happy birthday to you.
Name more. Is your son JR or JP?
JP.
Oh, JP. Oh, sorry, JP. Great. So we have big cake and cookies to share. Just to let you know, November 17th is Practitioner Sunday. And I see two of the practitioners here today are going to be speaking. And we also have Benet will be speaking. So join us. And I just want to say thank you to the volunteers today, because this is a community-based spiritual center. And I just want to say thank you to Ruth Ann for the flowers. Thank you for the and the beautiful day in cornucopia. Thank you. Just reminds me that prosperity is unlimited, all forms. And greeter, Robert, thank you. And Maddie, Maddie greeted. Thank you. And treats, Morgan, and Robert, and Kate, and Dr. Treats too. Okay. And video recording, Jim Matsipos. And Sarah, your husband or your son? Your son today. Thank him. Thank you, David. So, and I also want to say thank you to Jan Sherburne for all she does, not only running the bookstore, but running things behind the scenes. Thank you, Jan. So, and if you'd like to volunteer for something, a special occasion, feel free to sign up on the volunteer sheet. So, right now is our group reading. If you have the program, open it up. We have second page group reading. So let's do this in unison. God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect love and perfect abundance. I am an individualized expression of God. I am ever one with His perfect life, perfect love, and perfect abundance. So yes, and we have a group song. If you want to stand.
The Spirit is around us like a rainbow around the sun. That's pretty much it. The Spirit is around us like a rainbow around the sun. Oh, the Spirit is around us, the Spirit is around us, the Spirit is around us like a rainbow around the sun. Love. The love is around us like a rainbow around the sun. Love is around us like a rainbow around the sun. Oh, love is around us, love is around us, love is around us like a rainbow around the sun. Peace. Oh, peace is around us like a rainbow around the sun. Oh, peace is around us like a rainbow around the sun. Oh, peace is around us, peace is around us, peace is around us like a rainbow around the sun. So back to Spirit. Oh, the Spirit is around us like a rainbow around the sun. Oh, the Spirit is around us like a rainbow around the sun. Oh, the Spirit is around us, the Spirit is around us. The Spirit is around us like a rainbow around the sun.
Great, great. Well, right now it's time for our inspirational reading. So I'd like to call Robert. We have 2 copies here.
Yeah, one of that big print.
Okay, you want the big print? Okay, you got it.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Today's reading is from Living Consciously by Reverend Dr. Carol Carnes. And it's in the form of a letter, I guess, because it starts out, "Dear friends, I love this quote from Marcus Aurelius. Body, breath, mind. 2 are yours to trust. To the third alone, you have clear title. We are born into a body which breathes, but the mind precedes both and continues after they dissolve. That is the basic belief of modern spirituality, and which has been hotly debated by religious devotees and scientists, and anyone who has an opinion on the matter. Some things that we know innately we cannot convince anyone else of because they haven't had the experience themselves. If I had never seen images of the vast life forms in the deeper regions of the ocean, a scuba diver could not convince me that it exists. We seem to arrive at an age where we just accept what we know to be true by personal experience, not by doctrine, and leave it at that. Why get into arguments about it with those who have had a different experience from me? I feel the same way about politics. It is nearly impossible to change a person's mind who is convinced that their point of view is the correct one. Aurelius would probably say something like, just vote for your preference and leave the rest alone. I don't think he meant that we should be passive, but that our true nature is above and apart from all of this human activity, and we should not allow our inner life to be disturbed by it. That is a Stoic's point of view, and not easy to do, but worth an attempt. The state of mind directly affects the state of our health, both mental and physical. So let's be calm, steady in our trust in the higher consciousness to prevail as dictated by spiritual law. And then let's remain restfully alert. Thank you.
We're the people on the train. We're the people in the give. Some will blame, some will forgive, and some were wise. Some are fools, some are stones, some are Jews. We're the people in the mirror, we're the people in the light, we're the people in the morning, and we're the people in the night. We're the people of the heartland, we're the people on the train, we're the people in the mirror, and the people are the same. We're the people in the mirror, the same.
Well, it's my great pleasure to introduce Reverend Kate. Oh, it's not on? Well, okay. Thank you again. It's my great pleasure to introduce Reverend Kate DuVivier, who's going to talk about sweet liberty.
Okay, is my microphone on?
Yes.
Yeah, oh good, that's good. Tim, it's so fun to have you here because every song you sing, I think about the ocean. I know you're a surfer, right? And it's just like, oh, I love it, to hear the beautiful words with kind of a beach beat. So it's fun. Anyway, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Yeah, I just want to say we're living in a momentous time right now.
Absolutely.
We had a few things mentioned this morning about the election, and let's say it seems to me that everyone is either talking about the election or avoiding talking about the election. One or the other. But it's a little bit like trying not to think about dancing elephants and dancing donkeys, right? So even if we're not talking about it, it's still out there. And I know, well, I think everyone's going to be really glad when it's over. And it's interesting. It's not just us here in the United States, but people in countries all over the world are either worried about or simply fascinated with the process that we are going through in this very unusual race. I even read a news article about how the stress from this election was causing an uptick in people's health problems. So today it just seemed like I ought to, and I want to talk a little bit about how we can move through the upcoming days in a more peaceful way and see if we can make a shift from feeling anxious to maybe even feeling excitement, and hopefully shifting into a state of what we like to call cheerful expectancy. When I was on my way this morning, I listened to a radio talk by Ernest Holmes, and I don't know if I announced this before, but now on our website we have links to many of his radio talks. So you can go to our website, CSL Carlsbad.org, and click on links, and you'll see some links to his radio shows, which I enjoy. They're so much easier than reading the sides of my textbook. And they're short. But in this talk, his point was that anxiety is contagious. But he also said confidence is also contagious. So last week, for those of you who were here, Reverend Maureen talked about immortality, the perfect Halloween coincidental talk. But in her talk about immortality, she mentioned the idea of reincarnation, which is actually an idea that we at Centers for Spiritual Living don't take a stand on. We don't say yes or no about it. Although many people think it's likely, since there have been so many documented cases of especially children remembering exact details from what appears to be a former life. But then on the other hand, we don't know for sure that they're not psychically tapping into someone else's memory. So we don't take a stand on whether that's reincarnation is true or not true. But I have sometimes wondered if maybe the reason why the population of planet Earth isn't so large right now because everybody wants to be here. It's such a momentous and interesting time to be alive, to experience this time of change that's going on, to experience it, and maybe even to lend a hand. You know, and that's maybe just well, I'm sure it probably is just a silly daydream on my part. But if you can distance yourself from the feelings of stress that so many Americans are feeling this weekend, and if you can distance yourself from feelings of fear about the current wars going on in the world, and if you can distance yourself from feelings of worry about global warming and droughts, floods, hurricanes, and storms, if you can distance yourself from feelings of anxiety about inflation or taxes, and if you can distance yourself from your own personal worries about your health or your personal finances or your own relationships, if you can just step away long enough and feel free enough to just imagine for a moment that you're just sitting in a movie theater watching a fantastic movie, a fantastic drama about the goings-on here on Earth right now, don't you think that it would be very interesting that you would actually be watching one of the greatest movies ever made, the greatest shows? I mean, whatever you might like or dislike about it, you have to admit that life on Earth is quite interesting.
Not boring.
Even exciting. We really are living in a momentous time. And when I'm able to step back from being caught up in the day-to-day experience, which happens once in a while, I appreciate how amazing it is to actually be here now. And I think that it's important to remind ourselves that just being part of life on earth, is in itself an amazing gift. And that no matter how crummy some days seem, no matter how frustrated we may get by things that are happening around us, or within our own particular lives, within our own minds, or even within our own bodies, every day is still a gift. It's an amazing gift. So I hope if you have one, you've been working with your gratitude journal. If you haven't started yet, we've got plenty. Take one home, take one to a friend. And this is the thing I want to say because I'm like this. It's just like meditation or positive thinking of any kind. If you miss a day working with your gratitude journal, don't stop. Just pick it up the next day. So basically, it's organized. So there's 40 days. It's numbered 1 through 40. 40 days in which you can just write down 10 things that you're grateful for. It could be sunshine, the beach, anything that you want. But doing it repeatedly, I think, it's an experiment. It's a spiritual practice experiment. So I really want to encourage everyone to try it and see if you get anything out of it. I believe that each of us will. So, what could your entry be, your next entry, whether it's tomorrow morning or when you leave here today? How about life? Just being grateful for life. For me, reminding myself of the gift of simply being alive is how I am managing to keep my stuff together in the face of the upcoming election. There's a lot at stake. I understand that. But I'm only one vote, right? Now, personally, I don't like it when I hear people calling other groups of people garbage. Why? Well, my particular life experience includes sitting in a history class after the bell rang when I was in high school. And for some reason, even though I was a good student, I was sitting there and I listened to my teacher talking to another student, not such a good student. I was very quiet and shy. I didn't say anything, but I heard what she was saying to him. And she was calling him garbage. And I was so like, wow. So he's not going to go to college, but he's not garbage. Why would you say that? So for me, that's my life experience. That's the window with which I see the world. Other people have entirely different experiences in their lives, and they're looking at the world, including this election, through a different framework, a different lens. So what I have learned over time and what we teach here is that each person is on their own spiritual journey. And it's not up to me or any of us to run the other person's life. I can wish them the best, but I don't get to make their choices for them. And they don't get to make my choices for me either. I have learned to use a spiritual practice. Well, I have a few of them. One I want to share when I have someone who's really bothering me. Or even an issue, I guess you could use it. I haven't tried that. It's to just picture that person in my mind and say to myself, I bless so-and-so, and I release them to their highest good. I bless them and I release them to their highest good. Because I already know intellectually that everyone else actually does have a right to their own opinions, including people I disagree with, just like I do. But sometimes in day-to-day, it's hard not to like get a little, emotional about things. And so that's a really beneficial practice that you can try. The basic idea underlying New Thought and Science of Mind is that our thoughts, our individual thoughts, and also our collective thoughts do create the tendencies in our lives. Our thoughts shape our experiences, the good and the not so good. And so that's why here every Sunday we're basically recommitting to using our capacity for thinking wisely and living in harmony with life. And we support each other in doing this. That's why it's so wonderful to have a group of people that you can share your ideas with and share your outlook. It's kind of really, it's just like the microphone needed a new battery today. Well, every Sunday morning, we're here and we can recharge our batteries by sharing our light. And so I know that in the long run, everything will be fine. Even though in the short run, there are always bumps on the road. And I also know that each and every one of us has a particular, unique role to play in this drama playing out on Earth. Or, as Ernest Holmes, our founder of our teacher, called it this thing called life. And I want to share a few words from the beginning of the book that Ernest Holmes wrote that was called This Thing Called Life. But before I do, I just want to say that he wrote this book, or it was published first in 1943. So in 1943, World War II was raging in the Pacific, in North Africa, in Europe. Things were still uncertain. Nobody really knew how things were going to, what the outcome would be. And yet he was able to write a book of hope with a message that I think we could still rely on today. It's one of my favorite books that he wrote. We can rely on it today, remembering that we go through times of challenges, and then we go through times of peace and harmony. And what we can do is work with our minds to take that feeling of peace within us into every situation. So let me read what he wrote. The very beginning, chapter 1, he said, "The world is crying out for God, lost in the canyons of disillusionment where the trail runs out and stops against granite barriers that wall us in. We cry, why? Hast thou forsaken me?" When war devastates the land, and tremblingly we stand at the mouth of hell, listening to the screaming of airplanes, the wails of the wounded, and the terror of headlines, we cry, "Why hast thou forsaken me?" The answer to our need, crying out for God, lies not in God's willingness, but in our will to accept, in our ability through faith to recognize the divine presence as the great reality of life. The power of God within us is like a sleeping giant which must be awakened that it may spring into action. So in the midst of war, Holmes wrote, "If we carry light into a darkened room, the darkness is dissipated without effort on our part. So it is in the experience of one who has a deep consciousness of life. Something invisible but all penetrating will flow through their every look and gesture. People will feel better by sitting in their presence. Healings will take place automatically. The divine spirit is not a mythical, abstract being living somewhere above this earth. God is a divine presence, revealing itself to everyone who believes. Where God is recognized, there is life. Where the presence of God is realized, there is action. Where the goodness of God is acknowledged, there is peace. Where the goodness of God is acknowledged, there is peace. And Holmes often used the word life as a synonym for God. So we can also say, where the goodness of life is acknowledged, there is peace. This acknowledgement of the good, seeing the good, is what both inspires the feeling of gratitude, and very interestingly, it is also a result of gratitude. Seeing is believing, but believing is also seeing. Believing leads us into the ability to see clearly, just like seeing clearly leads us into the ability to believe and have faith. So when I was thinking to begin with about writing a talk for today, I was feeling quite overwhelmed by my own general anxiety about the news of the wars, the election, and the feelings of ill will that have been expressed. But then, and I want to express my gratitude to all of you right now, because thanks to you, thanks to my promise to be up here, standing in front of you now, for which I am grateful, it forced me to spend the time meditating, to be able to reach a point of letting go of worries, letting go of anxiety, and shifting back into the center of truth, what we call shifting into an awareness of the spiritual presence, an awareness of spirit. Basically, I just had to leave behind my sticky personal feelings of exasperation and move into a feeling of willingness to see beyond, to see something more. And so it was after some time of meditation that I heard or thought of the phrase, "Sweet land of liberty," from the song. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. And that made it clear to me what I wanted to share with you today. That how sweet it is that we're free. And we can argue or we can agree how sweet it is that we are free. And we can think whatever we choose, how sweet it is that we are free, and we can make our own decisions. And also how sweet this land is, our shared land. How sweet this world is, our shared world. How sweet life is, our shared life. How sweet it is to just be alive today, right now, in this moment. So we know that history doesn't actually repeat, but it does tend to echo. And in these momentous times, we can be ready to respond to whatever unfolds in the highest and best ways. We can respond to whatever unfolds with love and respect and faith in our hearts, with kindness and goodwill in our thoughts and deeds. Because, as Holmes put it, and I'll quote from him again, he said, "There is a universal wholeness, seeking expression through everything. Call it God, reality, or simply life. Life is infinite energy coupled with infinite creative imagination. Life is the invisible essence and the substance of every visible form. Its nature is goodness, truth, wisdom, beauty, as well as energy and imagination. Our highest satisfaction comes from a sense of conscious union with this invisible life. All human endeavor is an attempt to find such an inward wholeness that all sense of fear, doubt, and uncertainty vanishes." So, this week, I want to ask you, I want to invite you to join me in turning away from anxiety and turning towards confidence. I want to invite you to join me in honoring our inward wholeness by making an effort to keep reminding ourselves of the truth that there actually is enough good for all, for absolutely everyone, for absolutely everything already. I want to invite you to join me in reminding ourselves that each one of us is actually playing a wonderful and essential role in this thing called life, as we use our thoughts and our action, and as we see and acknowledge the truth that good is always at hand. So let's plan to spend this week holding what we call the high watch. Keeping in a state of gratitude, filling our hearts with cheerful expectation of good. Let's deeply know together that good is already here right now. All is well, and all shall be well, because life is sweet. Thank you.
Tears, but just one look and I realize, well, the truth is right there, shining in your eyes. For you are the love in the heart that never pining. You are the truth that never is dying. You are the spirit within me that's flying. It is so clear that it's blinding. And you are the star in the black sky shining. And fully grown. And he said, do you know, we talked on the phone. He says, I am a king and the world is my throne. He says, I am the course where the river is winding. He says, follow the horse that the angel is riding. And I am the source of the love that you're finding. He said, it is so clear that it's blinding. He said, I am the star in the black sky shining. And there was a thief, he was tied to a pole. At his feet was a list of all the things he had stole. And he said, can't you see that I'm just playing a role? And he asked if I dare look deep in his soul. For I am the warrior, you see I am the child. I am the moment that a beast becomes mild. I'm all that's tame and all that is wild. Do you know who I am? He said it's blinding. He said I am the star in the black sky shining. For you are the truth that never is dying. You are the spirit forever flying. You are the love in the heart that's ever pining. Can you see who we are? It is blinding. We are the stars in the black sky shining, shining.
That was lovely, thank you.
Kind of match the talk.
Yeah, I did. That's a great one, mine. Perfect song. So this is our time in which everyone has an opportunity to give to the center, to keep our doors open and keep us rolling. So I'll just do a really brief treatment or affirmative prayer as I just remind myself, and we remind ourselves, this is a spiritual universe. Everything is spirit. Even substance, even money is made from spirit because there is nothing else. That we work with a perfect law of circulation, knowing that just like the air we breathe going in and out, so does the abundance flow from one hand to another, that there is plenty of good for all of us, and that as we share, new things are able to be nurtured and to expand. So I give thanks for the wonderful prosperity that each and every person is experiencing in their lives, and for the wonderful prosperity of our center here and now. And I release this claim, knowing it is already done, and so it is.
So it is.
In your program, you actually have our little song chant. I am so
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful. I am so blessed, we are so blessed, we are so blessed, we are so grateful for all that we have. We are so blessed, we are so blessed, we are so grateful, we are so blessed.
So before we close, I just want to remind you that Reverend Dr. Almondra is going to collect emails for anyone who was interested in finding out more about her drive to give out journals to women who are in different types of programs or are incarcerated. So please see her afterwards about that. And I'm going to remind everyone that on November 17th, we're having Practitioner Sunday, and Benet will be coming up from Mexico, so that'll be fun. I know maybe some people haven't even met her yet, even though she's been a practitioner here for a few years. And I want to remind everyone that we have cake and treats galore. So first, let's just stand up, and on the back of your program is our closing song. We'll sing that, and then we will be adjourned. Oh, I forgot the treatment. Shall I do a closing treatment?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'll do a closing treatment. Yeah, how could I forget that? Because after all, that's like the thing we teach is treatment works. So let's just know together that there is one beautiful, divine, and glorious life. And that each one of us is an emanation, an individuation of this thing called spirit or life. And that as such, as part of this great cosmic consciousness, we are able to use our thoughts to shape our own lives. And I know on behalf of each and every person here, and on behalf of each and every person with whom we are connected, that there is good for us, that there is good for each one of us, that there is good for our families, our friends, our communities, our nation, and this world, and that this good is now taking the forms of better relationships, greater kindness, peace, and excellent health, of amazing abundance that is available to all, of all things good, of good overflowing. I give thanks for this vision of good. I know that this vision of good is planted into universal mind as a seed, and that it now flourishes, expands, and becomes a part of our everyday life. I give thanks for this good. I know it is already so because Spirit always says yes. And so, with a feeling of gratitude, I invite you to accept this with me by saying along with me. And so, thank you. Okay, now we're ready.
Open your heart, let your love go free, out over the ocean, right across the sea. Let it flow like a river, let it fly like a dove, till your heart remembers you can't stop love. Once you get it started, watch what it does, it'll go full circle.